The following is a paid program sponsored by Get Elevated. Please be advised that the voices and opinions you hear do not necessarily represent the views of KUNV Las Vegas, the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, or the Board of Regents of the Nevada System of Higher Education.
Please note that while we will cover a multitude of topics, including many alleged health benefits, all information provided should be considered anecdotal and informational. Please consult with your physician before adding cannabis to your medical regimen. Cannabis is for adults 21 years of age and older. Also, paid sponsorships are not to be misconstrued as preferred or favored by the host. In any way, they are merely that, paid sponsorships. Good morning and happy Saturday. Welcome to another episode of Get Elevated with Gia, self-proclaimed G-Money. I am in the studio today with two of my favorite people here in this industry. I'm here with Rick Karmokar and Erik Peterson. What's up, guys?
Hey, Gia.
Hey. So for those of you joining the show for the first time, thank you for listening. This is a show about cannabis, and season 1 is about informational 101 stuff. Season 2 of Get Elevated was like dope people in cannabis. Season 3 is about cannabis and. So I have these two cool cats with me because we're going to talk about cannabis and discovering your path. So thank you guys for joining me. I think that this is a perfect topic to cover, not just about how cannabis can help you and is part of discovering your path, but this discovering your path can take us in a lot of fun directions. So permission to be weird. Do we have that?
Absolutely.
We agree. All right, let's do it.
Let's
okay.
go.
So returning listeners, thank you for downloading us, for listening to us, for bringing your friends. Okay, that being said, so guys, let's back up and talk about you individually, if I may.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rick, I would like to know a couple things about you. First of all, what was your first experience or your first interesting experience with cannabis?
Let me start by saying I grew up skateboarding, so I feel like that's kind of what
You did.
led
Where
me.
are you from?
I was born in Texas, but I grew up out here. I came here
Okay,
around
that's
98.
right. What part of Texas?
Laredo.
Do you have a big hat?
I do not have a big hat.
Why?
I'm not one of those cowboy Texans.
Why
you know?
not? That's what
I just,
everybody in
you know,
Texas have to wear a hat and like a big college ring. No?
No.
And like iron jeans, like where you iron a pleat down the middle?
A little more of like a modern Texan now, you know?
Okay, what does that look like?
Kind of like me, I like to think, you know, with the little
Okay.
skater.
You got the little
S to
nose,
it.
the nose piercing.
Yeah,
Okay,
some
all
light,
right.
you know?
Okay, got it. Okay, so back to Texas. You were skateboarding.
So born in Texas, came to Vegas in around 98.
Okay.
And yeah, grew up skateboarding, and I had a bunch of friends that, you know, smoked weed. We were a bunch of little punks as kids.
Okay.
So
what was the hair like? I got to back it up. What was the hair?
I had a shag, I had a long hair. Yeah,
Nice.
I had a little side part.
No way, a side part?
Yep.
Did you flip it?
My hair actually naturally is really, really straight, but I had like a little flip at the very end.
Stop
So
it.
yeah, it was a mean shag, definitely.
A mean shag. Okay, all right. Erik, you know this question's coming. So. Okay, so you're at the mean shag, you're at the skater park.
Yeah, well, yeah, you know, I had a bunch of friends that, you know, who skated with me that, you know, they smoked, and I wasn't into it yet. But I had a friend that lived a couple of blocks away from me that, you know, his mom let him smoke all the time.
Yeah.
And it was, you know.
He was that guy.
Yeah, he was in, you know, I was in 6th grade. He was in 8th grade. So he was that guy.
Okay.
So went over
He
to
was
his
the
place.
plug.
Yeah, he was the plug.
I got
you know,
it.
So.
Aren't you impressed with my,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I know
you know
you're
the
thinking.
lingo for
I do.
sure. Nah, so, you know, kind of one day I was curious about it. So I went over to his place, smoked out of a zong for my first time.
You did, wait, you smoked a zong?
Smoked out of a zong for my
What
first.
is a zong?
It's a bong, just like it's like with zigzags to it.
It's
I
a
think pretty
Z-shape.
much- yeah.
Z-shape.
Is it,
Yeah.
how in, I've never heard of this.
I mean, it's pretty.
Is
pretty
it
common.
old school? Oh,
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's,
like how I was real relevant with the plug, but I don't know what a Z thing is. So, I mean, I balance this out.
it's balancing. There's
Right.
balance, right? Give
Okay.
and take.
They were super popular
Yeah.
back in the day. A
Yeah.
little bit,
Back
you
in
know.
the day. I
Yeah.
thought I was back in the day.
It's
You
kinda-
guys are too young to have a back in the day.
I mean, I feel like
We've been smoking. I've been smoking since I was 14.
Oh.
So
for me,
Okay.
I'm on like 15, 16 years smoking, if you do the math.
Okay, got it.
I
I'm
mean,
on 4,
Wow.
maybe
that's-
3.
That's crazy.
3.5.
in this situation, you're
You are
Yeah.
the young bull.
I am the young, which
and
is why
we are
You are the
veteran.
student.
I love this. Masters, do
Hey,
share.
we're commandeering this radio show.
I'm going to write this down. It's called
We're
a
the
Z.
captains.
It's called. I love how you guys just took that over. Yes.
They're gimmicky, but they're shaped like that because they're supposed to be like long.
Sure.
You know, like 3 or 4.
And
foot.
you're supposed to just like.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
same
more
I
compact.
got it.
concept.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so, you know, I just took a couple hits from the zong, you
From
know,
the zong.
and I didn't feel, I thought you were supposed to feel it instantly. I didn't know that it took time to kick in. So, you know, I took 2 hits, you know, from it, and he kind of just had me clear it for him, you know, I wasn't taking
Okay.
like the full hit.
Okay,
And then
you were the
clear it.
clearer.
Yeah, I was the
Gotcha.
clear. I was the noob, So took my second. I was like, bro, I'm not feeling anything yet. He's like, you're gonna feel. I'm like, dude, let me. I'm not feeling anything. Let me
Did you
get
were you
another
like
hit.
this flip in your hair, like, let me do it.
Something like that.
Let me do it.
A little
Let me hit
childish
that
voice.
Z-bong. Or shoot. Let me hit that zong. Dang it.
I was probably just starting puberty, whatever.
Oh my God, voice cracking. Did you have
something like
facial
that.
hair? Did you have like the chin strap?
No, nothing.
Okay,
nothing.
got
I
it.
didn't have anything.
Okay.
So took my third hit, and we actually there's a park that's right next to his neighborhood, so we had we're skateboarding to the park, and I remember I was riding down like getting close towards the park, and it hit me out of nowhere.
Wow.
And
So how many minutes after you did it?
I would say maybe like 25 minutes, right?
Oh,
like 25 minutes
okay.
after. I mean, I feel like that's a little bit of a delayed reaction.
That's a creeper,
but,
yeah.
Well, I always heard around that time that your first time smoking, supposedly you don't get high. I don't know if that was a thing.
I heard that too.
I did.
Yeah, so
I did.
well, I did too, and so I'm freaking. I'm 12 years old, so I'm telling my friend,
Dude, 12 years old. Can we
Yeah.
talk about your decision making?
Yeah, it was. I mean, like I said,
Can we go there?
We're your
punks,
parents,
Are they home now? Let's call them.
That was my biggest thing was, I was supposed to like see my mother like in the next hour, and I was freaking out with my
did not
friend.
think that through.
I was like, dude, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I just didn't know it was gonna have that much of an impact on how I was,
Sure.
everything.
Not to mention the smell.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
All that. So, I ended up going home. I don't know. Somehow I pulled it off. I didn't get in trouble. I didn't get caught. I didn't get caught actually until my like sophomore year. And,
Really?
Yeah. And I got, I was a bad kid, just all through
we're
my
going to
childhood.
come back to that. Bad kid.
Yeah, but
really.
yeah, we'll come back
I'd
to
like
that.
to know what bad kid
Yeah.
means in Rick's world. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. So that's a good experience.
Yeah.
But wait. So it kicked in, and then you were like, what?
I mean,
what happened?
it just. I wasn't used to it, and I felt like I was in a dream. I felt like I literally was floating.
Loving it so far.
That's what I remember. But I mean, I was supposed to love it, but I wasn't loving it. It just
because you didn't know what to
yeah,
expect.
I
You're
didn't
like,
know
is this
what was
gonna?
going on? Like, my eyes were red. I was like, my mom's gonna find out.
Dude, I went to the emergency room.
Oh my God.
I'll get there, Eric.
Jesus, yes.
Yeah. I know it's subject change. It's all about me now.
No, I mean,
I like to trump everybody's
you
story.
commandeer the. Yeah.
Eric, what was your first fun experience?
So I'm much like Rick. The first time that I consumed cannabis, I definitely got high. I have older brothers, and so I have a brother that's 2 years older than me and 4 years older than me. So when they were messing around doing things that they shouldn't be doing, I was kind of the tag along, doing,
Of course.
Bring your little brother with you type of thing.
Oh my gosh,
I was actually 12 as well.
I'm getting like images of the Sandlot, like.
No, it's very
Right?
How I grew up is very much the Sandlot. Like a bunch of kids all the same age.
Sure.
We all, rode bikes and played sports and
Isn't
did
that
all
nice?
that together.
That's cool growing up.
Yeah, so I had a bunch of older friends because by default, I was hanging out with my
Sure.
older brothers. So they introduced me to weed when I was at a young
Did they
age.
call it pot then? What'd they call it? Because I think I know how old you are when you say, where's the pot? It's like, all right,
It was
what's
chronic.
up?
It was chronic around my time.
That's what you called it? Like you got any chronic?
We called it chronic at
Dank.
that time.
Where-
Dank.
Where
Yeah.
did the name chronic actually come
Bud,
from?
Bud, yeah.
Yeah. Who knows?
Oh, that's it?
I mean, I don't know where dank.
It's
came
used
from,
to
honestly.
heal chronic illnesses.
But that's why they called it that
I
back
don't
then?
know. I don't know. I'm just throwing.
You just made that up.
I'm shooting from the hip.
Yeah, totally. I see that. Yeah, I can't believe like it's 12-year-old Rick's like, you got any chronic? Like looking to
Yes.
heal his arthritis.
I mean, I was just learning the lingo. I was new to it. So
Same
I'm like,
here.
yo,
I'm still in it.
I'm asking my friends like, what's it called? They're like, it's chronic. I'm like, okay, so it's
So
chronic.
that's what you got to ask for.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Or-
And what were you asking for?
or
Just the
something
weed?
dank.
Yeah.
The dank?
Yeah.
Is it the dank? Or you got any
No,
dank?
it's just
You got any
dank.
dank? Yeah.
Or you
That'd
say
be me. I'd
that's
like, do you
dank.
have any of the dank?
Yeah.
Hashtag the dank.
Gina's like, I'm hip. I know what's up.
yeah.
Do you have the dank?
Dude, but you know what?
I'm
I'd pull-
smoking the dank.
You know what? I tell you what, I'd pull that off, and then from there on, it would be the dank.
That's
That's how
true,
confident
that's
I
true.
would pull that off.
That's true.
That comes with age. You're welcome.
Now for a quick word from our sponsors. From the chief lobbyist of Matos Consulting, Jay is spearheading a new bill for consumption lounges. Jay is passionate about alternative places to consume cannabis so our city and the Strip can remain family friendly.
So get back to your story.
So yeah, like I was saying, I had older influences around me that always, they weren't always the best, but introduced me to weed at a
Wait,
very
where'd
young
you grow
age.
up, Eric? What's the
I'm from Sacramento, California.
Sacramento?
So my older brothers did not want me to smoke weed at all. So
Wait, they did though, yeah?
they were.
But
and
why
I
not
was,
you?
I was the younger
Little bro,
brother,
yeah.
and I was the younger brother that if I got caught, then they get in trouble, and then I get.
So there was a motive there. It wasn't
I
looking
get-
out for your well-being. It was like, You could.
They don't want to get in trouble for my decisions, which
That's
they
so
would
awesome.
have.
Of course.
So my friend's older brother had some, and we're in the backyard, and he had like an old glass pipe. I'm sure many people still use the glass pipes, but that was like what I started on.
What do you mean the old glass pipes? Like the?
It's just like pipe.
Oh, I mean, I use it all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm like, it's old. It's old. I just got them.
I mean, I used to use those.
Get a bong.
Yeah.
Grow up, Gia.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna tell you about my bong experience. I have tried so hard, but I think that I should probably get a YouTube class on it because I love buying the glass because it's gorgeous.
Beautiful.
But I had one of those small ones, and I didn't know that you're not supposed to like put your head down while lighting a small. Yeah, this kind of hairspray.
I was about to say you lit your hair.
Dude, I almost. But the nervousness around that, and then it just awful. And then I did burn my finger. But then even the longer ones, like I run out of air. Like I'm like,
You need a table jammer.
I don't know. But why do I want to? Give me what's the why? Why are you selling me on it? What's the sales pitch on the bong?
So with the water, your glass pipe doesn't have water in it, right?
It does not. It's not a bubbler. But I do like a bubbler.
Bubbler might be a better
But
option
I mean,
for
I'm
you.
a 2-4 hit person. Does any of this really matter?
Yeah.
You're a what?
2-4 hit, 2 to 4. I said I'm a 2-4
You
hit.
said
What do
like
you?
that was a thing.
You see how I'm so relevant? I don't even know I'm relevant.
I like how you play on.
I did a 2-4 hit. You don't do the 2-4 hit?
I definitely
What
do.
do you do? 6-8? What do you 6-8 hit?
I'm not much of I tell Eric I'm not much of a glass smoker anymore. I more so like to roll joints or roll like a blunt.
That seems cool. I've seen your Instagram. You got that.
See.
I see you. You're a blunt roller. I see it.
Yeah, I like to roll blunts.
Speaking of that, Erik had the best post ever. I just love that post. Do you do photography on the side or?
No, I have a lot of creative
model.
friends.
Right, because you were obviously the one. But your picture, it was like just epic. And what you said, like, but just all the world can just like nobody cares what anybody thinks and roll a blunt, smoke a blunt. I don't mean to misquote you, but that's the gist.
I think it was something of nobody cares about your politics.
Right.
Just hit the blunt and STFU.
Yeah, it was just so like.
There we go.
STFU.
But what I loved about that was it was like, but there's so much going on with people with opinions, and it was, and I'm making a deal of it because it really resonated with me. It wasn't like I'm making this opinion. I'm strong. You're just like, can we all just
like nothing that you say on social media to anybody else that doesn't have the same viewpoint as you is going to change their mind.
Not because of your dumb post.
They're just going to double down on their feelings. It's not a progressive, productive dialogue. And so
not.
a lot of people use social media to get their political expressions out, and nobody cares.
Nobody really cares.
I use Instagram for networking, for promotion, for promoting businesses, and just being in tune with things that I enjoy.
Yeah,
you know,
same.
Follow a lot of cannabis pages as well. You know, obviously.
Oh, obviously.
You know, I'm into tattoos. I like guns. I like different things.
see
So
that.
that's what I use Instagram for. I don't use it for.
Look at he's
to
plugging it like
express
he's
my
lifestyle.
political
Yeah.
beliefs. And
No.
I just think it's just goofy.
It is.
It's goofy. And then to put other people down based on how they view things, I think
Yeah.
it's goofy. I think a better approach would be to try to understand and have empathy for what
Yeah.
this person's beliefs are. And
Yeah.
everyone has different backgrounds. Everyone comes from different places. You come from Texas, obviously a very conservative state. So
Right.
I would assume you would have some views that
Right.
might be conservative, but some might be the other way. So
Yeah.
I don't like to get involved in that. So I just think it's super goofy that a lot of people try to, one, use that platform to express their political beliefs, and then two, put other people down that don't think the same as them. You should be using it to try to put yourself in their shoes and understand how they think that way, why they think that way, so that we all can come together and have some type of mutual ground.
For sure.
I think cannabis can help us with that.
I agree.
Right? And as it relates to, okay, I want to get to your story about cannabis when you were 14. Because your brothers... 12. Right, right. But I need to color it all up, guys, because that's what I do. I like to learn about you guys.
To make it fun.
But what's cool about this is people, like, we get to the point of, like, yeah, I'll come on the show, and I can see, like, people are like, I don't do this. I've never been on a radio show. And then, like, I get to unpeel knowing you, and it's epic for me. So thank you for being here.
It's an experience,
So to say
for
thank
sure.
you. Back to your story. So how was it, though?
Oh, it was great. I was in the backyard. I was with a bunch of my friends. Same thing with Rick. A lot of people say they don't feel any effects the first time they do. I definitely did. I don't think it took 20 minutes for me, but we definitely smoked a whole bowl. And I remember thinking that this is awesome. and I had a big old box of goldfish, and I was just going
Goldfish like the crackers.
Nice.
the crackers.
Oh my God.
And I was riding my bike with a box of goldfish.
Wow, that's
and
awesome.
It was great. It was
That's every mother's dream, just to
was-
see her son coming in from a good day at play at the sandbox or the sandlot with the sandbox people, and you're rolling up with a box of goldfish high as.
It took me a while to like
beautiful.
weed. I feel like it took me a while to like weed.
Really?
Yeah,
'Cause
like it like
it's just been year round a little bit.
yeah, like I just didn't know what it was, and
Right.
you know I didn't know
You
how
didn't
to,
know about no
how to-
terpenes?
I didn't know how to understand. Even then, I mean, no one knew about terpenes, but I didn't know how to understand it. You know,
True.
like so it took me a few times. Like I want to say at least like 3 times before like I actually was like, okay, maybe now I like this. You know?
She keeps you coming back.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean,
Like once, like even if you have, I went to the emergency room, team.
that's okay. Can we get to you? Are we? Can we go
Oh,
there yet?
are we done with your story?
I mean, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Eric's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess we're done talking about me.
That's just what I remember was riding my bike
There
with a
we
box
go.
of goldfish.
I love this image.
And just thinking that it was awesome. And then, I mean, obviously I didn't do it every day. I was super young when that first happened. So
Yeah.
I slowly started doing it more frequently. I think I did it after 6th grade. So going into 7th grade, and then
Gosh,
maybe
can you pause on that for a second? Like, that's real. Like, you're grown now. You have a child.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine that? Like, Barney and friends and poop, poop, pop on the magic. Like, what? And, like, what would you do if you found at age 12, like, a stash? Especially now, it's everywhere. Like, what
First
do you
thing
do?
I would do if it was my son and he was 12 years old and I found his stash, first thing I would do is check the quality
100%.
and make sure that he was at least smoking good quality. And secondly, I would take it and I would probably smoke it myself.
Okay.
And then I would let him try to go find it, and I would watch
You've really
him.
thought this through. You
Yes,
thought this
I would
story
watch
through.
him
He's
try
gonna be like, "What the-"
I would watch him freak out, knowing that it's gone.
Sure.
And I wouldn't say anything for a few days.
Wow, I
And then
love
we would have a
this.
conversation
Nice,
with his
nice.
empty
This is
bag.
epic.
His empty bag I would put on the table when he would come home.
You got this all. You've
Yeah.
really thought this through, Eric. I love it.
Well, I just had a child.
I
so-
know. That's what I'm saying. You got it. You already planning your moves.
Yeah.
I understand.
You guys have spoken about this already.
But I really, I obviously want him to be aware. I don't want him to, like in Germany, the drinking age is what, 16?
I
They don't
even-
really
do they
have
even
as
have
much.
one?
They don't really have as many problems with alcoholism because it's so just like taboo.
Right. When you demythologize something.
Is that a
then
word?
Yeah,
Was
it
that-
is.
was that
It
it?
is a word,
Okay.
Eric.
Okay.
That's
It's now
that's a very
demythologized.
Gia-esque word.
Yeah. Anyways,
I learned it from my therapist.
But
Demythologize.
demythologize. Wow.
Think about it. What I'm about to say, though, it's like weed, and you're like, oh, okay, that's weed. Like, there's no mystery anymore. So that's what they're seeking is the mystery and, sort of the taboo stuff. And, when you demythologize it, Rick, you basically
Gotcha.
strip it of that.
I'm gonna-
Does that make sense?
That word's now stamped in my head.
Good. Use it. You're welcome.
Yeah, for sure.
my biggest thing is the brain is not fully developed at that young of age.
This is a
Yeah.
fact.
So I
This
think
is true.
that's like my
Neuroscientists
biggest
will
thing.
agree.
And
This
just
is
like
it.
now that I have a child, I've done a lot of research on brain development
Yes.
and like how crucial it is, especially in the early portion of their
Yes.
life. Like from 0 to 3, the brain develops 85% of.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yes.
and then another 15% when they go on throughout their life. So
Yes.
like those ages obviously are super crucial,
Mm-hmm.
but just infancy and toddler, children should not be
They really
smoking weed.
Yeah.
Your brain's not fully developed at all.
I definitely
are
shouldn't
we-
have been smoking weed at 12.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's like the
Do you
best
feel-
thing to do, but
feel
I
kind of dumb.
yeah.
No, I don't feel dumb. I just I just feel like I shouldn't have been. I
But
feel like it was too.
hey guys, how much smarter could you be right now? Have you ever really thought like what was possible?
If I never smoked weed, I would have been, the nice doctor that my parents probably would have always wanted me to be.
Oh, Dr. Rick.
It's not.
Paging Dr. Rick Karmokar.
You got a
butchers
doctor's
it.
name, man. It plays well.
I do.
Dr.
It is
K.
a Dr. K.
It really is.
Dr.
Do
K.
they want you to be a doctor?
I mean, they wanted me to be something like that.
do you want to give them a message now, like you're sorry, or you feel
well, no, because now it's funny because
you are a
I used-
doctor?
in a way,
This is
so
medicine.
I like got
This is chronic.
beat. I got beat growing up, like getting caught smoking weed, that kind of thing.
You got beat like with like a belt.
like broomstick broken over my shoulder,
Oh,
like belt whipped around my neck, like that kind of thing. But also, I wasn't just smoking. I was
belt around the
I was,
neck.
I was
Pause on that for a second there, Rick.
I was like,
What?
I was still in the car. Like
I
it was
understand.
bad. So
I
it was,
understand.
it was. I was high school and
Yeah,
bunch
you
of
were messing it
craziness.
up, man. You were messing up.
Yeah,
you were
it
going
was-
in the wrong direction.
I mean, not the wrong direction, but but what
Parents
my
think
point
so.
was to saying this is they looked so negatively on it before, and now to all like my family members, they look at me like a doctor. They're like, oh, you know, like, what do you have for this? What do you have for this? I'm like,
Oh, I
wow.
love that.
And now my mom more so like brags about
Maybe
me.
we should call you Chronic.
I mean, right? I should be Dr.
You are.
Chronic Rick.
Chronic Rick.
Chronic Rick. I think it's gonna stick.
Support for Get Elevated with Gia is provided by Curaleaf. With 2 locations in Las Vegas and 1 in Ely, Nevada, Curaleaf specializes in cannabis products ranging from edibles to flower. More information is available at curaleaf.com. Curaleaf, Nevada. Cannabis with confidence. Keep out of reach of children. For use by adults 21 years of age and older.
That's really cool, though.
Yeah.
All of these stories.
How the tables turn.
Yeah, and a lot of people that I have on the show, I think I'm one of the only people in my circle that started this late in cannabis. Because I was part of the group where I was like, you look stupid, you're just stoned. And people, I gotta say, they did look pretty stupid. Maybe they were doing it wrong. I don't think I ever look stupid when I smoke. I'm always on point, sharp. You know what I'm saying? I can take a conference call.
I feel that.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
Not always. That's a total lie. But I thought people looked stupid and they looked dumb and they got fat, the whole thing. And then I was married 23, so I was like,
Are you married at 23? Wow.
can you imagine that?
No, I cannot.
It's like 100
I don't
gazillion-
believe in marriage.
Yeah. Put a pin right there. You want to? Hey,
that's a whole other can of
Whoa.
worms you just opened up. Here we go.
So real quick, real quick. Why? Like you came out with that.
Yeah, he did.
He came in hot
Came
with
strong.
that, yeah.
Do you know
definitely.
what the divorce rate is?
I mean, I was part of it. So
It's extremely high.
what is it number now? 76.2.
It's upwards of
takes
65%.
What is it?
Upwards of 65%.
Damn, that's very high. That's
Okay,
high.
but I would love to break down that further
I just don't think it's
to
realistic.
understand what age demographic most of the divorces are occurring. I'd be curious
That's a good-
about
Yeah,
that.
that's
Because I have some additional thoughts, not to derail this, but cannabis and discovering your path. I do want to bring this to point because there is actually a skillful art to my madness team. And your stories about cannabis and your personal feelings and how it kind of shaped you is really part of discovering your path, which is ironic that we all work in the industry. But part of it is understanding all of these components of us. Because I think, as we're, had consumed cannabis prior to, so it's influencing everything we're saying and doing.
definitely.
I believe in the synchronicity of all that. And I forgot what I was saying next. You were saying.
We were talking about discovering your path
Such a general
and
statement.
how marriage is a scam.
That's right.
That can of worms you opened up. How can we forget about that, right?
But part of discovering your path is for you knowing that you don't want marriage. I'll bet cannabis is woven into that. So why are you so
But-
firmly? Oh, the divorce rate is high, but is that it?
No, absolutely
Okay.
not. I would prefer less government, and the idea of signing a contract with the government that says I love you to this person that I want to spend the rest of my life with doesn't make logical sense to me. Why do I have to sign a contract with the government? Why do they have to get involved?
Would you
If
just,
love
Are
someone,
you-
would you
can
just do the
have
ceremony
eternal-
thing? Would you like just do a ceremony? Like
Hey.
no paperwork?
Yeah, I wouldn't sign any paperwork.
I'm about to become an
Yeah.
ordained minister. I'll do it. We'll do it here on the show. Why?
I would love to have
That would be
you.
awesome.
Dude,
that would be-
I got stuff to say. I can also make you cry. There's many skills here. Many skills.
I believe
I
it.
don't like
I believe
crying.
it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't like crying either.
Yeah.
But,
Well, we don't.
but
Let's
I
skip
believe
that.
you could.
Let's laugh.
You pay extra for more laughter, but we'll work it out. I'll give you a good deal. I'll give you a good deal. Okay, but there's this whole government tone. Yeah.
Oh no, I just that's like my biggest thing is like why do we have to get them involved in our personal relationship?
So yes, and what if I were your fiance or someone were? We don't want to talk about real stuff. And was really feeling strongly about the ceremonial component and the white and the flowers. What if they felt strongly about that? Is it like you're out?
Then I don't know if that's my true love.
Got
if
it.
We don't share
You
the same.
got it. Okay. I didn't know if it was
idea
like,
about
yeah, we're gonna do this for her, but like deeply, I feel differently about it.
No, and I'm all like I understand that, and that's important to some people, and sometimes you have to make sacrifices and
Yeah.
do things to appease other people that you love, and
Sure.
obviously that's something with it. But I'm not saying I wouldn't have that ceremony or
Right.
have that wedding, but I think if you really love somebody, you don't really need to. You guys have a good understanding
some
of your
paperwork.
I get it.
relationship,
Yeah.
and I think bringing in outside forces or third parties, it just makes it more complicated.
Mm.
And I would be interested to see what the divorce rate is like in the time period. So like after you get married, like how many people get divorced within
After a
the
certain
first
amount
Yeah,
of
I
years.
would love
years.
to have more
Because
detail
your
around that
dyna-
just for a conversation.
The dynamic
Yeah.
of your relationship changes no matter
100%.
what. As soon as you can have the best, most, the greatest relationship ever, and then all of a sudden you get married and things instantly change because people have expectations in their head about what marriage should be. And I think the key to happiness is to expect nothing from anybody. And so when we build up expectations for other people and they don't meet those expectations that you created for them, that's where a little disconnect comes in as well. That's a whole
suffering.
nother.
No, that's called suffering. Like there's an expectation I have of all this stuff around me, whether it's a job, a spouse, a partner, my child. And when they don't live up to that expectation, I'm suffering.
Yeah.
And I created all that.
That's self-created.
It's all
from
created.
your brain that
100%.
You know what I mean? And then, obviously if you communicate like, hey, I don't like this, or I'm expecting you to do this, and they fail to, they acknowledge it and fail
It's
to
suffering.
meet those, then it's even, that's a whole different story. But yeah, that's
You want to know what helps me with all that? Cannabis.
Of course.
Cannabis and meditation. Do you guys use it as a meditative tool?
Yeah, definitely.
Heck yeah.
Tell me how. Tell me how cannabis and meditation have helped you discover your path.
Well, I'm big on yoga. And I also...
What type? Is there a specific kind?
I like hot yoga.
Okay. Yeah,
Where
tell
at?
me about your
Where'd you
practice
do
now.
that?
So you like the hot?
Yeah, I used to go to True
True
Fusion.
Fusion, yeah. That's what
I've
you
heard of
said.
that.
Yeah,
It's on my
they
list.
have a bunch of different classes. They have
find
like
you.
Pilates. They
I'll
have
find you.
cycling. They have all that stuff.
Not in the
but
cycling.
I like their.
Not into cycling?
Heck no.
It's tough.
I don't want to do it.
Cycling's tough.
Spin class?
I go to
Yeah.
Real Results and I get whipped,
Oh, yeah, I
I
forgot.
get
You
whipped
get-
around 3 mornings a week. I even
Those real
worked out
workouts.
already, having foot surgery last
Really?
Wednesday.
Nice.
Yeah, he had me come in and do
Dedicated.
upper body and abs and stuff.
Awesome.
I know.
You're a monster.
I am. Go ahead. Talk about
Enough about me.
enough about my awesomeness. Get back to your awesomeness, Erik.
No, we're talking about yoga. And
Cannabis and meditation,
Cannabis
yeah.
and meditation. I think those things all go hand in hand because when you smoke weed, you become a lot more introspective,
Mm-hmm.
and that's pretty much what meditation is all about.
Yeah.
And then yoga is like all about controlling your breathing. And
Yes.
before we started this, you talked about being present.
Yes.
So that's one thing I really like, especially with the classes.
Mm.
As you go into that room, it's 60 minutes, it's 90 minutes, whatever. It's like fully focus on
You're present.
your presence, your posture, and
Yes.
just releasing everything. So
I
think
love that.
all
I didn't know
those
you
go
did
hand in hand.
yoga. Do you smoke right before or like hours before and kind of the after?
Yeah, all that, everything. Yes.
All that.
Yeah.
You just yes.
During-
Extra, like I like to eat edibles before I go in there.
Really?
I get that.
Wow.
I get that.
Cause you smoke like a blunt or
Yeah,
something,
smell.
you get congested.
You're that guy,
yeah.
and also you smell,
take a
and some
dab.
people
You
aren't.
smell. I don't mind smelling.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Kush is my cologne.
Yeah.
It's all right.
No. Kush Kalogni. So, but do you actually practice meditation like stillness?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to practice 20 minutes of silence in the morning.
Okay.
With a child, it's been challenging.
Oh, sure.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
but
consider those days
just
gone
like-
for 21 years.
Just waking up in the morning, most people go to their devices and
Yes.
all that stuff and outside influence. I like to just be quiet, sit outside. You know, you can just kind of smoke and
I love that.
just be silent and not entertain all of the outside stresses that is work and family and
Yeah. No, I
all
get
that.
that.
Yeah.
Rick, do you ever have do you have any opinions on cannabis meditation or that?
Well, I have my own form of meditation. I mean, I don't necessarily do yoga, but I run a lot, and
Okay.
I look at running as my kind of way of meditation.
Wow,
I do.
that is a very yeah.
I do like to take a dab or smoke a joint before I go on a run. I
Okay,
feel
how
like it
much
gets
do you
me-
run? Are you at speed or are you going far?
I mean, I more so focus on. I mean, it just depends. Speed or distance, depending on what day it is, depending how I'm feeling. Usually, I'm going around like 4 miles.
Okay.
And I'll go a few times a week.
And where might I find you running? Somewhere
Somewhere in Henderson. I mean, usually. Or,
I'm out. I won't find you at all then.
Yeah, you won't. You won't.
Okay, got it.
I'll be running in Centennial next month though.
Oh, what's going on there? You moving?
Yeah, I'm moving to Centennial.
Oh, congrats.
Me and my
Sorry,
buddy
I'm
are getting a
fiddling around
place.
with this. I
No, you're
can't.
good.
I think that's a good
Gotta
point,
get right.
Rick.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people think of meditation as you
You have
sitting
to
there
be.
cross-legged with a Zen garden.
I think there are
Right,
different
right.
forms of
and
meditation.
You're doing
Yeah.
hundreds.
Right.
There's definitely many forms of meditation that I don't
Yes,
think people.
running is very-
People think of it as just being silent. Like
Yeah.
working out is a form of
Yes.
meditation.
definitely.
Yes.
Yeah. It actually
writing down your thoughts is a form of meditation as well.
I would like to pick this up. Can I get you guys back? We do this again because we didn't get very far into our discovering your path conversation.
Yeah,
We're gonna
yeah,
wrap
yeah,
this
yeah,
episode,
yeah.
and yeah,
Sounds good.
yeah, man. Okay, because we are out of time for this episode, and we're gonna come back though. This is fun. We got to now everybody knows each other. We're loose. We're feeling good. I really want to continue this conversation about writing, meditation, running. I want to talk about flow state, which I've talked about in a few other episodes. So, Erik, where can we find more information about you?
Instagram, Erik.extracts. You can also check out my consulting company, Extracts Academy. We teach classes on hydrocarbon extraction and fractional distillation.
Rick, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at RickRenz702.
RENZ.
RENZ.
Why make people work so hard? Say it again.
Rick Renz 702.
Giving you such a hard time today.
I
Rick.
know. She's on me today.
I know. I love it. I love you guys. Thank you. And we'll come back. And for those of you listening, thank you so much for being here. Join us next week for part 2, Cannabis and Discovering Your Path. I like to end the show with this very important thought. Welcome to the future of cannabis. My name is Gia. I'll be your tour guide.
You have been listening to a paid program sponsored by Get Elevated. Please be advised that the voices and opinions you heard do not necessarily represent the views of KUNV Las Vegas, the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, or the Board of Regents of the Nevada System of Higher Education.